Today we're going to review basic equations, and we're going to start with one-step equations. In any equation, I'd like you to think of it as like a knot. Think of a knot that went inside your shoelace or a rope, and you want to untie it. There's my knot. Use your imagination. If you want to untie that rope has got to go back through the opposite way it came in to be able to untie it. And then it will be untied. So we're talking about opposites, just like the opposite of cold is hot or the opposite of in is out. Operations have opposites as well. So if I'm talking about the opposite of adding something, the opposite of adding something is taking away. So that would be subtraction. The opposite of addition is subtraction, and vice versa. The opposite of subtraction is addition. So if we have an equation going, look and find the variable. Our variable is v. 8 is being added to that v. So the opposite of adding 8 to something is taking away 8 from something. So let's take away 8 from that side where the v is. And if I take away something on the right-hand side, I need to go over to the left and do the very same thing. And that way I keep my equations balanced. Now 8 take away 8 is just 0. So cross it out. Don't worry about it anymore. And that v is all alone. And then we bring down the equal sign in exactly the same line as where it was. And now we have a little math problem. 26 take away 8. You can just do that in your head, or if you need a calculator, this Desmos Scientific Calculator is a really good one. You can look that up online and it's free to open. So you go 26 and you can take away 8. The answer will pop up over here and it's 18. So coming over here, I'm going to draw 18. Whoa. 18 equals v. Now that's not very beautiful, so I'm going to rewrite it again. You know, I can rewrite it the opposite way. If 18 equals v, then v equals 18. And some people just like seeing it like this with the variable on the left and the answer on the right. Either way is fine. Okay, let's try another one, but this time let's look for a different operation. Number 3 is still adding. Look, we're adding 15 to b, and we already know that we should just take away that 15. Over here, we're adding 4 to that m, so we know we should just take away that 4. But here's something different in number 7. In number 7, we're subtracting 9 from that m. Now remember that the opposite of subtraction is addition, so this time we are going to add, and if we subtracted 9, the opposite is to add 9. Look how the operation changes to the opposite, but the number stays the same. So we're going to add 9 on both sides, both the left and the right. I draw a line just to show that I'm done with that step. Negative 9 plus 9 is 0, so I can cross it out. M comes down because it's all alone. The equal sign comes down. And I have negative 13 plus 9. So I can come on over to my Desmos Scientific Calculator, and the negative is just the minus sign. So use that minus. Whoops, clear everything first. So use the minus, negative 13, and then we're going to add 9. And that will show up with our answer being negative 4. So I'm going to come over here and write negative 4. Whoa, that was not beautiful. Let's write it again. M equals negative 4. Okay, much better. Now let's come on down and we'll look at the next one on this left-hand side. We're still subtracting 15, so we would add 15. I won't show you how to do that. You can do that on your own. But come look at number 11. Number 11 looks quite a bit different. We have negative 104 equals 8x. Now, you have to realize that when we're doing algebra and we have lots of x's, the old times sign that we are used to looks like an x. So if I have, this really means 8 times x. So if I wrote 8 times x, it would look like this, and it would look like I have 2 x's in a row. So they don't do that. In algebra, we just put the number right by the letter, and you need to remember that that means times. So let's talk about what's the opposite of times. The times sign, and I will use the times sign as an x, its opposite is really division. Now there's a way that we write division in algebra that's a little bit different, but even a little simpler. We just draw a line underneath it, kind of like a fraction line, and we write what we're going to divide by underneath that fraction line. Did you know that fractions really mean division? They do. So 8 times x, if we want to get that 8 times to go away, we divide by 8. That's its opposite operation. And if we do it on the right, we're going to go ahead and divide by 8 on the left. Now 8 divided by 8, we say cancels out. It's not the same thing as going to 0. 8 divided by 8 is 1, which leaves 1x. That's what we wanted. We wanted 1x left over on that right-hand side. So we've got 1x equals, and now I'm going to go over to my Desmos Scientific calculator. I'm going to remember to clear it this time, and I'm going to enter -104, and we're going to say divide it by 8. And our answer pops up as -13. So coming on over here, and I'm going to write this as -13. Now I could turn it around. 1x is the same thing as x, and it equals -13. So there's 2 different ways that we can write this. When you enter this into the quiz after you finish this worksheet, you'll just write -13. You won't have to write x equals, just -13 is fine. Just write the answer. Okay, now let's look at a different kind of problem. We'll go down to number 13. It looks quite a bit different, but it looks like what we've seen before. Remember that this line, this fraction line, means divide. So this b is being divided by 18. Just like we learned that the opposite of multiply is divide, the opposite of divide is multiply. So if we want to get that divide by 18 to go away, we need to multiply by 18. And one of the good ways to show in algebra that you're multiplying by something is to put it in parentheses. So right up here by the b, I'm going to write parentheses 18. And if I have multiplied by 18 on the right, I'm going to come on over to the left. There isn't a lot of room, so I'm going to squeeze it in there, but I'm going to multiply by 18 on the left-hand side too. Now, just like we did before, see how 8 divided by 8 was 1? 18 divided by 18 is 1. Anything divided by itself is 1. That's why we're doing this. So 1b is left over on the right. And now I have a little multiplication problem, 18 times -6. So I'm going to come on over to my Desmos Scientific, clear everything, and we'll go 18 times the -6. Whoops, I hit the divide. So let's clear that and do that again. 18, here's the times, and we'll go -6. Okay, we see that our answer is -108. So I can come on over here and go -108. And you can also turn it around if you want. You don't even have to write that 1. We can simplify it as being b, because 1b is the same as b, and it equals -108. Okay, Now we've just gone through every single kind of problem that you will have in this assignment. So you can go ahead and finish these on your own. If you're having any trouble, you can come to me for help, whether it's in class, or you can email me for help and we can help you if you're working online. Okay, guys, good luck.